What's up, guys? Welcome back. Got it on the ground. Got her looking pretty sick. So next step, I blew my radiator hose off of my remote fill. So I had a center section cut into my radiator hose. That was an aluminum little filler job. You know what I mean? Because that part was higher than the radiator. So I figured I'd put a remote fill in there and I'd tee my steam line into that. That blew off while I was driving around. So I made me a hard radiator line off some exhaust tube. Kind of see it hanging up there. Still drying, just painted it. I'm gonna throw that in there. Got a new little steam line hookup, a little fitting, a little thread into that metal hose, and then steam line will go to that. So I should clean up that, be done with that radiator hose. I added a vacuum canister and vacuum pump. My cam's a little big, so my brakes aren't stopping as good as they should. So buddy of mine, Bryant at Current Auto Performance, has a patented Bryant performance brake adder footer jobber thing that makes your brakes go. So we're going to see how good it is. Hook that bad boy up. Got a couple more vacuum lines to connect, and then we're going to run that. So speaking of brakes, probably wondering what's next in this hodgepodge of recycled, somebody else used it first shenanigans. Well, I'll tell you what's next is brakes. So stock, I had a G-body front end, had 10.5-inch rotors. 10.5 inches. Some say that's average, right? 10.5 inches. Well, let's say I make a 14-inch rotor fit under there. That'd be cool, right? How am I going to do that? Well, take one of your other rotors and you machine off the rotor part. So you just got a hub, right? Little races go in there. Take your little wheel studs, stick them in her, like that there. And little bracket, you can use some, still got the tape on here, still painting these, but you can use some brembos. Yep, brembos. These are 4 pistons off of a 2010 Camaro SS. So there's some templates and stuff online for brackets and whatnot and hoo-has. Got me this little guy. Requires you cutting the spindle, the ears off where brakes used to mount, and then you drill 2 of the dust shield holes. See what size is this? 13/32. It's all on the. You Google it, it's in the forums and stuff. 13/32, and then it taps to a M12 175 bolt. So get you some of them M12 175 bolts. It needs a, I think it's M14 for the actual caliper itself. So got those guys, and that's my next step here. Is I'm going to pull off the rotors, which will have my bearings and whatnots on there, and then I'm going to take out the spindles, and I'm going to cut off the ears, drill and tap the dust shield holes, bolt the brackets on, put the hubs on, bolt the calipers on. Rotors first, then I'll bolt calipers on, and we'll see if this 14-inch rotor and 4-piston caliper will clear the 17 by 8-inch rim. So, got some bets on whether that's going to happen or not. So stay tuned. Show you what happens. obviously it's another day. Got my holes drilled out, the dust shield holes, right? 13, 30 seconds a bit. I got them threaded out, M12 175. So, not those bolts, but those bolts fit M12 175 joints. Those right here. So what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to take a little bracket, 2 sets of holes. There's a 14 hole, that's for your caliper, and there's a 12 hole, right? And that's for your bracket. So I'm supposed to put one bolt here and the other bolt in the bottom, but oh man, obviously this bracket is not wide enough for what I need. So apparently, when I was cruising the interwebs trying to find me a bracket design, I found one that's for a F-body spindle, which, judging by this, your dust shield bolt holes are closer together than your G-body, hence this bracket won't work. So ordered a new bracket, it's on its way. I don't want to wait 9,000 days because COVID-19 sucks for shipping. So I'm going to keep moving along. I'm going to kind of mock up here and I kind of fine tune it after that. So got my hub with my bearings, right? I'm going to slide that little bad boy on there. Hub's in place. You got these brand new super high heat coating rotors. I got them from the mybuddiesbackyard.com. Just kidding. They're nasty and rusty from my buddy's backyard. Crazy. So here you go. Put the rotor on there. I'm gonna slide my caliper on there. Get my spacing right. I'm gonna get that same compound applied to the brake pads. Never seen that. So super high spec racing pads. Slide those bad boys in there. And I know this is not 100% perfect, spec'd out. This is going to give me exact measurements. I'm just trying to see where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at. I know probably have to run all these little 1/4-inch spacers. So, and the studs that came in here, even though they came with lengthened studs, they're I don't know, 3/4 or an inch maybe longer than sticking out past the rotor, which would probably be great if you're not running any spacers. But I'm just going to assume I'm running all those. So I happen to have some wheel studs I was going to throw in the back. These are 7/16, which I'm trying to keep everything the same. 7/16 or 2 7/8 inches. Not that I'm using these right now. The knurl's wrong and everything's wrong. But I'm going to use these to center everything up. Line up these little spacers. Blah blah blah. With the holes, so I can stick it in the hole. And then there you go. Now what I'm looking for is on the back of my rim. I'm pretty sure it's going to rub on the caliper, right? Because these rims are not a newer modern rim that's got a lot of backspace or off space or down space, my space, YouTube, whatever to it. So they're different, right? The newer cars are, the wheel mounting surface is closer out to the edge to the outside of the rim. The ones I have are not. So we'll see how many spacers I need. I'm gonna grab my rim. Yeah. And try to get these holes lined up. Just dropping that in there to locate it. Ain't gonna bolt it up backwards. Calm down, YouTube Nazis. Man, this looks easier than I thought. Maybe not. I lied. Oh, be darned. Just don't want to go in the hole, do you? Oh, that's not the hole. There we go. Got him. Alright. So now, I'm just going to give it a little turny turn. And caliper's rubbing on the rim. Somewhere. But it's not on the top. Where is it? No, it's not. So I'm clear on the back side. Back here, I got about a finger width, both sides of the caliper to the rim. Underneath, got about, I don't know what that is, screwdriver-ish. I don't know. It's real official. Of clearance there. Probably not enough to take another one of these spacers out. So, I'll go with that. Obviously, this is not an official measurement because everything's just kind of fucking sitting in there. But it gets me close to know that I need about 5 of those little spacers. Distance. So, I think here's a 1/4 inch. That'd be what, 1.25 inches? 5 of them. Spacer to adapt off of here. So, that might actually be pretty decent because I got these longer studs, right? Press these bad boys in there and run me an adapter. Not a spacer, an adapter. So the spacer is like this. I put it over top. I put the rim on and I'm using the same lug nut. I'm just spacing the rim out. An adapter, which I don't currently have here, is the kind that you see that you put this on and inside of it, it has another set of lug nuts. And that one goes on the ground. So you tighten your lug nut on here to tighten the adapter on, and then your other set of lug nuts sticks out, you put your rim on that. So usually you find those, the ones, you're going a little thicker, like maybe 1.5 inches or more, or if you're changing bolt patterns. Like if I was going to take this from Chevy car to Ford 5-on-4.5 or Chevy truck 5-on-5 or something, and I need to change the bolt pattern, you can use an adapter like that and I would adapt the bolt pattern. Weird, right? So I might end up doing that, and we don't have to buy more little thingies. Lug nut studs, lug studs, wheel studs. You gotta buy more studs, but probably will anyway, because if I'm gonna run those adapters, I'm gonna want hardened studs, so pop them bad boys. That gets me a little closer. So now I know 1.25 inches spacing me off. I clear on the inside of the rim, and gets me one step closer for now. So those of you with a keen eye might have picked up on a little addition I had in here I hadn't really talked about yet. When I was doing the front suspension, you guys see anything new? Obviously I got some stuff out of there, but this little guy right there, that is a new sway bar. So originally I had a, I think it was 7/8 stock G-body base model, you know, pumpkin spice latte basic sway bar, and a little tiny. Start throwing these little performance parts in there and get my spring rate up and whatnot, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Felt kind of like poopy. So I went over to the QA1s, and they had a 1 inch and I think it was 5/16 or 1 3/8. I'll have to look it up. It was pretty big sway bar, pretty big beefy guy. So I got that. Came with all the little attachment hoo-has and whatnots, and all the little jobby jobs I need in there to hook it up. And I had that on there when I took it around the first time, and that really tightened the front end up. Just that bar alone, adding that spring rate in the front was really nice. So that's going to help tighten this front end up a little bit and fit like a glove. So if you guys are looking for one, it's the QA1. I believe it's inch and, I don't know, it's 1 inch and some whole lot of change. Good bar. Check them out.